Okay, a little bit of a different one this time. Now, I may be missing a couple, but I'm going to talk about four that were fresh on my mind. And these are the underappreciated sequels, which are a lot better than what people give them credit for. Starting with Gremlins 2. Does everything a sequel needs to do. It ups the ante, it adds more craziness, it's fun. It's not as dark as the original, but it's the principle of the thing. More gremlins, more creativity. You got the electro gremlin, you got the brain, you got the bat gremlin, you got the veggie gremlin, the phantom gremlin. You got Spike, aka Mohawk. He turns into the spider gremlin, which is a waste. Gizmo's back. He's using pop culture. You got Rambo Gizmo. Then that crazy office building that's so futuristic. Mostly of the original cast are back. Awesome puppetronics. Great voice work again. Other effects like the stop motion and the digital effects for the electro gremlin. It's fun. When the new Mogwai come about, you got George, you got Daffy, and when they turn into their gremlins, they're different looks. And they had fun with this sequel. They call out the first one in a fourth wall break. You had Leonard Moulton complaining about it. You got the Hulk Hogan cameo. You got the parent saying, oh, this is worse than the first one because some people find this not to be good, but this is great. Awesome follow-up. Needs more love. The second underappreciated sequel, which is better than what people give it credit for, Ghostbusters 2. More horror focus this time, a little light comedy. Bit of an interesting villain. He's intimidating. He's Vigo the Carpathian. How he speaks to Janos through the mirror possesses him. And possessed Janos goes to Dana, and then that crazy scene where you think it's an old lady, but it's Janos dressed up, flying with the baby cart, takes, I think it's Oscar, and all that. Then Vigo, he comes out, he tries to take care of the Ghostbusters, but he fails. The Statue of Liberty scene. Awesome. Better Statue of Liberty scene than in Superman 4. So they got that, instead of the Marshmallow Man attack, we got, the Statue of Liberty. The subway scene. With the heads and that disembodied voice that's so, that. And Ghostbusters 2, great. Superior to the remake, which is awful. And then Ghostbusters Afterlife. Good follow-up. We got new Ghostbusters out next year. And yes, Ghostbusters vs. Scooby-Doo is coming. Interesting on that. The Ghostbusters remake is like the Scooby-Doo movies. Barely funny, bad effects, and full of shit jokes. So we got big Ghostbusters Scooby-Doo crossover coming up. What's another underappreciated sequel which is better than what people give it credit for? Predator 2. It's got Bill Paxton. Kevin Peter Hall is back. You got these guys in it. Goes to the city. There's riots. We get more backstory of the Predator. There's the Xenomorph skull cameo. We got more Predators. Pretty good effects, violence, some genital jokes to talk about the Predator's face. Good action. It's got the horror vibes in it. It's so underappreciated. And RoboCop 2. That's a good sequel. Peter Weller's back. it's a bit more hard-edged than the third one, which isn't so good. But yeah, RoboCop 2, it's good. I think Predator 2 did it better. You know, RoboCop got the series, it's got a stupid remake, it's got the not so good third one. Predator got Predators, which is, yeah, good or not good. The Predator, I didn't care for. AVP, it's alright. Second one. But, yeah, Predator 2, awesome. I'm sure if James Cameron directed that and RoboCop 2, they'd be freaking better than the first. But they are good sequels. This one you might not know too much about, but Weekend at Bernie's 2. It's funny. It makes sense. Sure, the ending, how the two henchmen got turned into goats, is a bit far-fetched, but it's a sequel. They're allowed to be crazy and a bit unrealistic. Look at all the stuff in Home Alone. All those guys, you know, getting beaten on the head and everything. You know, you got professional doctors saying what would actually happen. So it's okay for a sequel to go a little bit off because they're meant to. That's why they're fun. Weekend at Bernie's is fun. There should be a third. You know, have Larry claim to be Bernie's son. You know, he's inherited the house. You got the two crazy guys, Paulie and the other guy. They're in a nut house and they're still saying Bernie's alive. But, you know, Bernie, how you going to have... Because he would be rotted by now, but having he's had all the wax and makeup done. He's in his funeral suit and, you know, he's there, maybe a cameo, he's trying to walk around, and maybe Bernie's real son comes back in Vito from the first one. He returns to try and get vengeance and sees Bernie and it's like, what? How is he alive? You could go a little ghost story in there because, hey, they did voodoo, so why not a little ghost story or something? You know, haunted. Weekend at Bernie's in the house is haunted. And Larry ends up taking the mantle and says he's Bernie Lomax and whatnot. And Richard is like, no, he's going crazy. That could work. You know what? What does Weekend at Bernie's have in common with what movies does that have in common? Wayne's World, maybe? Yeah? So yeah, those 4 sequels, a lot better than what people remember and what they give them credit for. They're fun. They do what sequels are meant to do. They go a bit over the top. They're a little far-fetched. But they're good. I love them. Yeah, there's better sequels in them, but they, out of their respective franchises, you know, Predator 2 is the best Predator sequel. RoboCop 2, the better sequel. Gremlins 2, well, you got Secrets of the Mogwai coming up, you got comics, you got the intended Gremlins 3, but Gremlins 2 is awesome. Ghostbusters 2, awesome. Afterlife, really good. And, well, yeah, I guess I'm doing Weekend at Bernie's versus Wayne's World. I set it up for myself, and you asked for more, and you're going to get them. More crossovers and verses. Scale later.